we're also going to talk about what does it feel like to be unawake. And there are people that have come to me for a session, for a reading, who are younger than me, who come from a perspective of being awake. They don't know this unawake business, okay? So it's really fascinating for me to have conversations with individuals that only know what it's like to be awake. What is it like to be completely unawake versus awake? And there are some individuals who are younger than myself who have come to me for readings, for example, and they have the perspective in the world of just coming in and being primarily awake. Okay? They haven't experienced the lifetime that I have, where I was completely tuning most of everything else out other than what I felt was a priority in my life at the time, which was eating, sleeping, and then later on drinking and partying, maybe shopping. I didn't really focus on anything else other than what was primarily of importance to me. Let's just say I was very surface layered on the surface of the pool in my floaty, drinking my cocktail. I hadn't built all that much depth. So what is the difference between being unawake versus awake? And that's what we're going to talk about today. Can't wait. And then we're going to talk about my own personal experience, as well as individuals that have come to me for sessions and their experience, and what we can learn from both sides of the fence. Now, we can go and type in spiritual awakening online. We can go ahead and we can type in and get answers about what that is, right? We can read up on it. But in the comments, if you guys want to let me know how did you know that you yourself were awakening? What were some of your experiences? Did you awaken from having something happen in your life where you were suffering? Did you have something awaken you in your life by losing a loved one? Was it a physical illness? Was it a Kundalini awakening? Okay, so let me know in the comments, and then I'm going to talk about my own experience. And we're also going to talk about what does it feel like to be unawake? And there are people that have come to me for a session, for a reading, who are younger than me, who come from a perspective of being awake. They don't know this unawake business, okay? So it's really fascinating for me to have conversations with individuals that only know what it's like to be awake. Their perspective is, it's very sensitive. I'm very open. I can pick up on other energies around me. I'm having communications with my spiritual team or with ET energies. This world is a bit too intense for me. I feel really depressed. It was a struggle for me to even make it to teenage years. I wanted to exit this experience pretty much multiple times over and over. Okay, so also experiences where if they were touching any types of drugs, that would be too much for them energetically for their awakened state, and they're open. If you think about it, I'm sure their energy is very open, their chakras are open. Some individuals have had psychosis and issues with that, and had to remove all things out of their lives. So eating a very clean diet, not touching drugs. So these are the kinds of stories that I seem to be hearing from individuals that are vastly awake. Whereas I guess some of us old timers, when we were going through the world, we could eat what we wanted. I remember my mom getting like a huge case of Coca-Cola from Costco with a big box of those cream eggs. And I mean, me and my sisters, we just sit there and pig out, and no effects of that. Partying starting when I was 17, and just railroaded my body right through to 25 when things changed. And that was the beginning of my awakening. Now, does one go from being unawake, and then overnight, oh, the next day I'm awake? Does it happen rapidly like that? That's the question, isn't it? So Jacqueline, your first experience was losing your first child. And years later, your sister told you about A Course in Miracles. Wow. I'm so sorry to hear that. But you know that I've had a lot of souls come through during sessions, and they tell me that they were only meant to come in for a short period of time, and that they are a part of a bigger purpose, and that it is also that they're there to help us see things differently. Suffering is one really something else. It is an amazing way for someone to awaken. Some people suffer and they don't awaken. So it's just, I guess, dependent on what one is ready for. Sometimes when I tune into individuals, when they come to me, I'll pick up on their starseed family members, and they'll let me know that they're there to help the person awaken. And that's one of the main things of importance for the person on Earth. So it's pretty wild and interesting when I tune in with spirit. Some people don't have that. That's not what's important. That's not what. But most people that come to me, that is the number one important thing. So it's very interesting. So for me, the suffering was colitis. Being unwell for a lengthy time, parting ways with a soulmate, losing my dog, and so I'd already been suffering physically for over a year straight, living at my mother's, couldn't eat, couldn't function, lost a lot of weight. Actually, the first time I got unwell, I went to the hospital. They got me back on my feet. I went back out into the world. 8 months later, I came back to my mother's, got unwell again. So the second go around is that's when my guardian angel opened up in front of me, made her presence known, passed through my body, went from complete despair to bliss out of my mind. And then I could always sense her energy around me after that. You could sense it. So it was very apparent that I had help and backup around me, and that I knew that I wasn't alone. And that was really, really important at that time. And I remember going through Costco, and I remember seeing a deck of angel cards, or also known as oracle cards. And I felt very drawn towards them. And so when things seem really highlighted, or you're pulled in a certain direction towards a certain person, or number sequences, or certain words that are repeating, or a song that's repeating in your head with certain lyrics over and over, pay attention, because it's the energy that's around you all the time coming through and communicating with you in this way. Okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, that's so, so amazing. So you see it as a big gift from your daughter. She helped you to awaken. Yeah. So when you're unawake, do you even know that you're unawake? Do you even realize that you're unawake? When you're unawake, the angels show it to me and they give me a visual like this. And so I see the world through this. This is what I see. But when you start to awaken, what are some of the signs of awakening? This starts to come down. You start to ask questions. You start to become curious. You start watching videos, broadcasts, reading books. You feel drawn to YouTube all of a sudden. You're not sure why. Or certain TikToks or whatever you're viewing. And then you start to engage with the non-physical by way of possibly getting a deck of angel cards, your chakra centers opening more and more. So you start picking up and feeling the energy around you. You might get ear ringing. You might get silence on the side of the head. You might get pulsating, opening, expansion, pressure through your chakra centers, okay, as they're opening you up. You might get lightheaded all of a sudden, maybe a little bit nauseous, heart palps. The three main chakra centers that they love to open the most and that they go for the most is your crown, your heart chakra in the center of your chest, and your solar chakra just above your belly button. Those are the three that they go for. Number one. They love to pool high vibrational frequency in there to help elevate and lift and raise you up a bit. Okay, it's called ascension, ascending. You might be anchoring in light codes, okay, or just universal oneness, light and love. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Thank you, Jacqueline. So Jacqueline's saying that the beginner's course, the Mediumship for Beginners course really helped you a lot. Yeah. The beginner's course is everything that the angels have taught me over the past 15 to 17 years, all combined into a 2-week course. The next one's coming in November, so if anyone's interested, I've reduced the price significantly for you if you feel that you need something more affordable. Okay, you can go to KristinDaviesMedium.com if you want. Did anybody here even recognize or realize that you were unawake when you were unawake? Because for me personally, I didn't even realize I was unawake. No clue whatsoever. And if anyone came to me and spoke to me about anything spiritual, I just raised my eyebrow. Even with my mom, I guess you could say, had a midlife crisis. And she came to me and said, why don't you come to this gathering and you can learn a little bit more. And I thought, all right, I'll see what this is all about, you know. And I remember shaking the hand of the medium who was running the class that day. And there's energy went up my arm, right up. And it was like electric. And she was looking me right in my eyes. And I remember thinking, this is full on. I didn't know what to think as my little 21-year-old self. But she looked to my mom and she said, you got back together with your husband to have this one. I was like, what? My mom was like, because my parents had parted ways for a number of years. And so they had had my older sister and then they were done. They were going to part ways. They weren't going to get back together. And I remember my mom telling me that they got back together and then they had me. And then, whoops, they had my younger sister shortly after. So I always remember my mom saying, you know what? I got pregnant super easy, so you better watch it. If you better be careful because you're probably going to get super pregnant super fast too. I was like, you know, Okay, Mom. Mental note that. So I remember having that experience and that really, whoa. But then I went right back to being primarily more unawake, shall we say, because I was 21. I was out having fun. I moved to another city. I was all about the beach and drinking. But I did notice a few things when I was unawake. And some of the things that I'm going to list, maybe you guys have experienced too. And let me know what experiences you have had too in the comments. So some of the things when I look back when I was unawake, I didn't really care about anything outside of the bare minimum. So it was like, what was I going to eat? Sex, intimacy, partying, drinking. I was very much on the surface. Life was pretty cushy in a lot of ways because I didn't have any suffering at that point. Not even comparably until I started to awaken. And some of the things that I noticed when I was unawake is I would have moments of feeling lost. It was kind of like a feeling of feeling incomplete or not sure about things, not sure about, and sometimes I felt lonely, lost and lonely. And I'd have these moments come in and then I would move to distraction. So I would just move right to distraction, going out for a meal, go out partying, go out drinking, hang out with friends. Any kind of depth I wasn't entirely interested in or ready for. And of course, I was using alcohol, people, drama, gossip as distractions for entertainment. And that was what I felt was really exciting. It was all about the excitement, right? Oh, I was not even thinking about who I am or what I'm doing here on earth. I hear you. Me either. Like, not at all. If there was no broader perspective of myself or what I was doing here, no. And to be honest, I've probably only had a few people come to me that I would deem as being more unawake or in the beginning stages of awakening. So they come to me for a reading, and the angels will show me this surface, on the surface is what they show me. They show me the surface of the water. And so when I talk with them, you know, we kind of delve into what they're primarily focused on, and it's barbecue, drinking, hanging out with friends. And that's it. And they're just curious about what I'm going to channel for them, so they decided to come to me for a reading. Not often I have these types of readings. It's not common. Like I said before, some people have come to me and they tell me, I had a Kundalini awakening. It was explosive. Things were never the same again. I had a ton of energy come up through my root chakra. All my chakras have opened exponentially. I've had people come to me, including myself on this one, and I could hear Source talk me through it. Light and love, God, universal oneness, whatever you want to call it. It's everywhere, okay? And we're a spark of this light, thank goodness. And I remember being asked to lay down, and then all of my chakra centers opened and expanded. And it was amazing. It was almost too much. I remember that. And Source asking me to hold steady for about 20-25 minutes. Yeah, me too. So let's talk about that right after this, Jacqueline, which is, you look back when you're unawake and you think those were the easy days. Because when you're oblivious, like, you know, when they say, when you're tuned out and you don't notice things, like, it's just blissful, right? In a lot of ways. So when you start noticing a lot of what's going on, you open, expand. Now you're noticing a lot of energy. You're picking up on information coming in like never before. You start to channel, okay? You start to sense and feel your angels, your spirit guides. You're getting number sequences and your chakra centers are opening full throttle, and you have ascension waves coming in with ascension symptoms, okay? Such as, hot, itchy skin at times, hot pockets, heart palps, your body overheating during these phases. And then you've got, you're just getting bombarded by light frequency, and the light frequency is even communicating with you. Yesterday I was driving and it started coming in at 5 o'clock, and I was like, no, not today, Felicia. I was like, I just went through 7 days of not sleeping with all this light frequency coming in. I am not getting bombarded again. So I just asked for the light to step back, because I was like, I need a break. I need to be able to sleep. I need rest. And it did back off. So if you find that you have too much light frequency coming in, you can ask it to step back. You can ask to get a beat and take a break, okay? So just to let you know, if you're getting bombarded by light, if you have a lot of ascension symptoms, okay, you can ask for it to step back. If it doesn't step back, it must mean it's greatly needed. But then you can ask, can you ease it off a bit? So I know this is going to happen, but I need things to step back because I'm getting heart palps, or I'm getting nausea, or I'm getting lightheaded, right? The 3 main chakras that the light comes through, and stomach. So when I started to awaken, it didn't happen for me overnight. It didn't just, oh, there we go, from point A to point B. I'm awake, everybody. Everybody, hey. It didn't happen overnight, but it did happen more and more over a series of experiences, over a series of moments over time, okay? And when, I don't think we're ever fully done, per se. I don't think we awaken and then that's it. I do feel like with what's going on in the world, there's a lot of heaviness, there's a lot of transition, a lot of changes happening. And I think when we kind of go into a primal or sometimes fearful or fight or flight kind of mode, we can kind of shift away from being as awake. I don't think we'll ever go back to being completely unawake, but I definitely think that we kind of start to focus on more of what we deem as the vitals in life. Shelter, food, maybe a bed. Okay, so the basics, stockpiling for the days ahead. Yeah, it goes in baby steps. And often the angels have explained to me that ascension has to happen incrementally. Okay, so, if we think that 1 minute the whole planet's going to awaken, I don't think, well, look around. It's not what I think. People are not ready for a mass awakening over the flip of a switch. They're just not, okay? So it comes incremental. So my awakening process might be, okay, I'm embedding or taking in more light and I'm moving up to here, whereas somebody else is ready for this amount of light and they're ready for this amount of awakening. Or maybe it's over here for this person. So we're all kind of moving at our own pace. But I would assume that those who are drawn to the Mediumship for Beginners course, or they're drawn to whatever words that come out of my mouth, that they're probably ready for something more. And that is determined by you, your higher self, your team of angels, your spirit guides, the ascended masters, maybe the archangels. So when you awaken, are all your problems solved? The end? Okay, I'm good. I've awakened. I've arrived here in the world. A lot of people feel the opposite. In fact, there are memes where there'll be posts on online. my spiritual awakening. You know, or you'll see somebody tumbling down the mountain, head over butt, in the dirt. Okay. So for some people, it's like they feel as though they're the black sheep of the family. They feel as though they don't fit in anymore. They don't have the same friendships or the same connections. They don't connect with their family members anymore. Congratulations. You're definitely awakening. You have awakened. Not everyone in your family, not all of your friends, not everyone is going to be ready to awaken. And if you're the type of person that kind of pushes your spiritual beliefs or tries to talk and convince them into, or UFOs or ETs or you know, whatever you want to talk about, and you get that blank look, that deadpan stare like no one's home, it's okay. They're just not ready for it. So don't try to force it. As an indigo kid like myself, indigos love to push it. They love to help or fix others or tell them what's what. But in truth, I've learned from the angels to allow others to be as they choose, okay? They will awaken when they're good and ready to. They will take in the information and be ready to take in more information when they're good and ready to. And if they don't awaken in this lifetime, so be it. They'll awaken in the next one. And if it's not the next one, it'll be the next one. Because rest assured, you're probably coming back and you'll try again and go again and again and again. Personally, I'd rather do it in this one and see how far I can get in this lifetime. So for some people, it's, you know, you got ascension symptoms. You're not sleeping too good. Okay. And that comes in waves. So it might come in for 7 days or 10 days, and then it dissipates. And then you're like, oh, okay, life's a little bit normal again. But then you start picking up on your team. You start to get messages through number sequences or words, or you notice your chakra centers are opening and you're getting ear ringing. And your vision starts to change, okay? You might notice like a haziness over your eyes as they start to shift into being, I guess you could say, more spiritual sight. You might notice that the light seems brighter and more irritating to your eyes sometimes, along with, if you notice at the same moment, noise is so loud and your audio is too sensitive. Chances are this is a sign of awakening. Just going to tune in and see if anyone would like to relay a channeled message for us pertaining to this topic. Okay. Thank you, dear one. This is Source Frequency speaking. So, by the way, you can talk to God. Any one of us can. We are a spark of that light. So just us talking to ourselves is talking to God. Okay. And if you want to talk to your loved ones, they're also God, source, light, and love. Okay. If you want to talk to your angels, if you want to talk to your spirit guides, if you want to talk to anyone, you can. As soon as you think it or say it out loud, they pick up on it very easily. It's like a radio station sending out a signal or a broadcast. Okay, it takes a matter of a split second for them to pick up on what you're thinking or what you're saying. And I noticed that right in the beginning. I was like, "Ooh, my angel can hear what I'm thinking." Ooh, sucks to be her. So they can handle it. That's what they're built for. They're built to handle anything. Okay, so ready, Source. Source is relaying this message for each of us. I would like as many of you here on Earth to awaken, if possible. And so the feeling of this is an urgency, okay, or like a push to get as many of us awake on Earth as possible. And I'm getting correct, accurate. If you are interested in awakening further, simply say yes. And then Source, also known as light and love, God, universal oneness, whatever you want to call this energy, will proceed. Okay? So if you would like to awaken further, you can just say, yeah, that would be cool. Yeah, I'd like to do that. And then God will, light and love, universal oneness, I say Source, will proceed in helping us awaken further. When we're unawake, Source explains it as being temporarily pinched off from all that is surrounding you. All the, as Kristin says, all the goodness, all the light, all the love. And as we let go of that and we open up, we allow more light frequency in. We lift and raise in vibrational frequency. We feel less alone in the world, and we will be drawn to, attracted to, guided towards others who are like-minded, higher in vibrational frequency, as you are also lifting and raising in frequency. You will have help, support directed towards you. Pinch yourselves off no longer, dear ones, for the light is immersed here upon earth and will continue to intensify, lift, and raise the vibrational frequency here. Okay? So you can go ahead and be unawake if you want to, but awakening personally for myself has been one of the best gifts ever. And I would take all the suffering that I've been through over the years in a heartbeat to be where I am today. And that says a lot, because I've been through a lot, and I've had a lot of surgeries, and I've had a lot of suffering. I've had a lot of starvation, but all of that triggered the awakening, and it is what got me here. But if we want to do it the easy way, we simply just say yes. Okay? Yes, I'm ready to awaken further. I'd like to have things easier. I'd like to fly instead of walk and trudge through life. Yeah, it is a beautiful path to walk upon. Period. End of story. Yes, it might be difficult at times, but it's like expecting you to go and learn something new, a new language, move to a new culture or a new country and think it's going to be easy breezy. It's going to have its moments, but rest assured, it is one of the best gifts I've ever given myself, ever. Okay, and I can't imagine going back to the way it was or continuing to live my life the way that it was. Oh man, what a different person she was back then. Any one of us can feel the energy in the room around us anytime we want. Quiet your mind, tune out, daydream, okay? Quiet the mind, turn it off, and just feel. And I can feel your guardian angel's energy bucking up against my face. But the one who is going to take this is going to be Source. And Source is enveloping above. Always has, usually coming in largely above, larger energy that comes in here. Well, your female guardian angel, Chakras, she wants you to move in the direction that you know is right, that you know is best. You're getting called upon to act and to take action and take action steps. But I get resistance with you. There's a bit of a resistance, like you're not 100% there, you're not quite sure. If you don't move in this direction in which you are being guided to go upon, the feeling here from what your angel's showing me is that it will keep on keeping on. Like nothing's going to change. They want things to be easier. and better for you. You know what else I'm getting here is like you're kind of coming to the end of your tether. Like you're coming to the end of the rope. And it's just about that time. It's all about boasting up self-love and confidence and self-worth. Because when we know what we're worth and we love ourselves, we won't tolerate or put up with anything less than what we deserve and desire, right? Your guardian angel just said, so true, so true. You're welcome. You can drag your heels on this, but they're trying to make things easier for you rather than continuing on, okay? Doing the same old, same old. Your spirit guide's coming in as if it's a part of a band. Did you play in band at all? I did. I played the flute in junior high in my band. But it's if you didn't, this is just your spirit guide. I see a trombone, like, you know, the big trombone, and then playing on the trombone and like coming in with his knees up. Okay, it's quite an entrance that I don't commonly see. Okay. He's just saying, keep trying. Your mind, okay. Oh, you wanted to play band, but you weren't allowed? Oh my God. So he's doing it for you. Isn't that just the coolest thing ever? He's just saying that your mind kind of is a bit fragmented. Welcome to Earth. Who isn't? So the more you can create, okay, can you stop itching my nose, please? I got it. So there's somebody else coming for you, Jane. And we can stop itching the nose, and I'll tune in just a second. But what's being relayed here is your mind. Boy, oh boy. Lots of siblings, not enough money, I bet. Is your mind kind of like pew, 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 in your thoughts? This is what I'm picking up on. Boy, your energy is fast-paced. You can hold down a lot. I bet you're an amazing multitasker, you know, as long as we can ground our energy. But the key in channeling or connecting with our spirit guides, yes, yeah. Oh boy, I can feel it. So even my heart is pounding faster when I'm tuning into your energy. I think it's how your energy is built. It's just a faster speed. I'm trying to keep up with you. So the key is to quiet your mind long enough for your spirit guide to steer the ship. What's the ship? Your mind, your thoughts. So quiet your mind and allow your spirit guide to form thought forms in your mind like this. Anything else you want to say? Thank you, Kristin. It is an honor to be able to channel through you. Dear, he's calling me, he's showing me being like the light-hearted one, or the one exemplifying the light. Don't worry, you'll get this in time, should you desire it. Practice often. He's actually recommending a deck of angel cards for you to practice with. It's about slowing you down so we don't need to be thinking all the time, okay? That's exhausting. So when you're sitting on the toilet, when you're in the car, when you have a quiet time by yourself, that's when we turn off, okay? Turn off, relax. When you wake up in the morning, just lay there with stillness and let your spirit guide send thought forms in through your mind, okay? He's talking about the journey on Earth. It's not come to completion. It's not at the end. You're going to be here for a while longer. Even he's moving faster. I'm like trying to keep up with him. I feel like his energy is moving. Obviously with him making this entranceway with the band. He doesn't want you to worry about things on a repeated basis. They call it don't sweat the small stuff. So if you find your mind fixating on things and worrying, he wants you to hand those off to him. And your name is Bevel. He was saying it to me and I was like, what? So his name's Bevel. Isn't that wild? It's quite different than here, but that's his soul's name. So of course we're possibly going to see something different than just Tim and Bob, right? That we hear on Earth. And so when you start to have worrisome thoughts, what do? Right in the moment. And you start fixating and doing the old tape pattern. Here you go. And then he's going to take that into the light. You're probably going to feel a lot of light come through and transmute that heaviness. Then he's going to start working on any problems that you have. So as soon as you hand off the low vibrational thought, he actually gets busy and gets to work. Okay. So you really want to hand off your problems to them, not only because it's going to help you lift and raise. It's been a crazy ride. Yeah. So the key is to give it to them so they can work on resolving the problems in your life. And you're like, well, how are they going to do that? Just do it and find out. Okay? Some of the stuff that's happened in my life would blow your mind. I was like, oh my God. Okay. Chris, I'm going to take you last here. Last few seconds. I've been struggling with feeling stuck, blocked, with zero direction, low energy. So sometimes we can look at this and say, I've got your angel here on my right. Jane, I still have to pick up on your message. I think it's coming in from Jesus. So sometimes we can say, I'm feeling blocked or stagnant or stuck. But the other way we can look at it is, this is how it is right now, and I'm meant to rest and relax and let go and let God. So what does let go, let God mean? It means just let go and let the energies guide you. Okay? Just let your higher self guide you. Let your loved ones guide you. Just let go. The issue at hand isn't you just feeling stagnant or slower. The issue at hand is the mindset we have pertaining to it. So if we have anything that's low vibrational going on, bitterness, resentment, irritation, unhappiness, overwhelming feeling of not wanting to be here, that's what they're honing in on. It's okay to rest. It's okay to have a slower pace. But what they really are asking from you, Chris, is to hand off these negative thoughts and feelings that you're having on a repeated basis, as many times a day as you wish. And they're ready, and they have their hands outstretched towards you, ready to take them. There's nothing too big. You can't give them too much. You can't overburden them or bother them. That's not possible. So they're really ready for you to do that on a repeated basis. That's what's needed here. With Jane, so Jesus is coming through and saying that this message is not only for Jane, but it's for everyone. And this message is, if you feel discontent, stuck, stagnant, heavy, low vibrational, simply call upon me. I am here, ready, awaiting your request, awaiting your requests. Okay, so if you have multiple requests, simply call upon me. I am ready to take action on your behalves. Do not sit in the pity and wallow for lengthy periods of time, for this is not what we wish for you. none of us here wish this for you. Let's begin lifting and raising, feeling better now and always. The one you know as Jesus. You guys have an awesome, awesome weekend. I'm looking forward to each of you this Saturday with the Origins of Your Soul class coming up. Super excited. I will see you guys next time. Bye.